So everybody, got new retainer made for the intake valve for the Full Johnson pump engine project. As you can see, the old one was broke off, so manufactured one's quite similar to the original one. I have machined down this boss a little bit. That should enable for me to thread onto that welded in stud. I do need to make another stud yet, so that is on my list of things to do. There you can see the wrist pin and everything is in there, so that just kind of sitting in there right now, but it does fit nice. Everything lines up like it should, so got to change out the bushing on the connecting rod, so we'll be doing that. Got to do a little job with the push rod here. It's bent, so not sure. May try and straighten it, or I just may decide to maybe build a whole new one, so that's yet to be determined. So anyways, stick around, I'll show you how I made that maybe quickly on the time lapse, but it did turn out very good, and some of the other jobs along with that milling down of that boss. And yeah, hopefully next time you see me, we'll be out in the garage and putting a few pieces on. So here you can see that I'm turning down the piece of material for the valve retainer clip, so just kind of got to get it squared off on the end, faced off, and then I needed to turn it down to the right diameter. So here I'm just going to do a center drill, and I'm going to drill a hole so I can tap this piece of material for a 5/16 coarse thread. So here I'm just going to quickly mill a little piece across there so I can slide through a cotter pin when it's all assembled. So here I'm just wrapping up this piece, just doing a little cleanup on it now, and it'll be ready to thread onto the valve and retain the spring. So here I'm going to start the milling process of milling that boss down slightly just to go over top of that welded stud so I can get the full threads of the nut when I go to tighten the head down. So I thought this was probably the easiest repair, the safest repair. I was a little concerned about trying to machine out that existing stud. I thought it might cause me some issues and further down the road. And I feel that this should be a good, safe repair.
So here I'm just going to make the new push rod for the Fuller & Johnson pump engine. Once that one's completed, I just gotta cut some threads on the end there, some 5/16 threads, and then we'll quickly make a 3/8 stud for the bolt the head down onto the engine. So next step is here I'm going to get my bushing driver out. I'm going to drive the old bushing out of the connecting rod end here, so kind of get it all pushed out. It takes a bit of tapping, and then once that's completed, we will install the new bronze bushing.
Getting there. So there we go, got the old bushing drove out. So just gonna clean a few things up here and then we'll insert the new one. So
So just going to give the wrist pin end here a quick clean with some emery cloth just to ease in the insertion of the new bushing. So now I'm just going to use the bushing driver again to insert the new bushing into the wrist pin end of the connecting rod. So we'll get that portion of it done here, and then we will have to check the fit of the wrist pin to the bushing, make sure everything still fits good. Sometimes they have a tendency to shrink a little bit after being driven in. So
there we go, new one's inserted.
you can't quite see it because I'm doing it off camera here for the most part, but I just took a 3/4 inch end mill and I'm just cleaning up the new bushing that I've installed up a little bit, ensuring that I get a nice good fit with the wrist pin. It was a little bit tight there when I finished up, so this end mill seems to be doing the trick for me to get that nice smooth fit, and it'll work very good once it's all said and done.
Oh, there we go, guys. I got the bushing fitted. Set screws out in the other shop yet, so as you can see, I've got a few of the other parts made. New push rod I made. Placed the bent one. Made my replacement stud that was missing that had the bolt in it. When it comes to the head, made the new retainer to go on there, and also milled down the boss here on the head just to allow me to bolt it down where that welded on stud is. So right now I think this is where we'll call it the end of the day on this video. So hopefully you're enjoying it. Please like and subscribe. Check out the other videos in the Fuller and Johnson pump engine project series. So next we're going to be getting serious about assembly and going to have to fit the rings. You know, but we're going to start putting a lot of the other pieces on. I'm still waiting a couple things to come in that I ordered for a new copper crush head gasket and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll be showing up any day. So anyways, thanks for now. Take care, everybody out there. Be safe.